everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name's Lizzie and today I have a tutorial for you to show you how I made these gorgeous DIY Christmas crackers. Now, I've been meaning to make some of these for a few years now, but I was finally inspired to do it by Kate Ava Designs on Instagram. Check her out, her handle will be in the description box below, because she recently made some Christmas crackers using the most gorgeous Rifle Paperco paper. Mine are slightly less glamorous compared to hers, but I will show you how I made these. I've made two different designs. So the first are these slightly more traditional rustic ones with the brown paper with green and red details. And I've also made some slightly more fun contemporary ones with this bright blue paper and some contrasting colour bows. You can go totally to town on yours and design them however you like. Mine have got proper cracker snaps on the inside, so they will make a crack sound when you pull them. They also have a joke inside, a tissue paper hat that I made, and a little treat. So you can fill them with whatever you like. Stay tuned if you'd like to see how to make them. The things that you will need are some paper. I'm using wrapping paper, but any craft paper or any kind of paper will do. Some sellotape. Masking tape will be potentially a helpful extra. A pencil, a rubber, a ruler. Any ruler will do. Mine just happens to be a dressmaking ruler because it's all that I have. Some pens for decoration. Some scissors. The insides of some loo rolls or kitchen roll or whatever you have handy. Some ribbon and things for decoration. These are weights that I'm going to be using to keep my paper in place. These are optional, and ultimately you could use any heavy object to help you work with your paper if you find you need it. If you would like your crackers to snap, you will need to get hold of some of these cracker snaps that you can buy online. And these bits are additional extras that you could choose to put inside your crackers if you would like to. So I've written up some cracker jokes from the internet on some little bits of paper. You could put in some chocolates or any kind of treats or gifts inside your cracker if you would like to. And I've chosen to make some tissue paper hats to keep it really traditional. So stay tuned till the end and I will show you how I made those. And if you would like to make the hats, you'll also need a tape measure. The first thing that you need to do is to measure and cut out your paper. This is where some small weights might come in handy, because if you're using wrapping paper like me, it's likely to want to curl all over the place. My measurements are all based on me using this sort of UK standard size toilet roll inside cardboard tube, but you can adapt the measurements if you're using something different. But the first measurement you want to do is to measure 23 centimeters from the bottom of your paper up to the top of your paper, and that is a long enough measurement to make sure you've got plenty of room to roll the paper around your toilet roll inside. The way that I'm going to measure this is by taking my ruler and measuring 23 centimeters from the bottom of the paper up to the 23 centimeter mark, and then I'm going to mark it with a pencil. Although I'm actually going to use a pen today to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to keep making marks all the way along until I've got a good stretch of dots. And then, oh whoops, that doesn't matter. I just drew in the middle of the paper, but this is on the inside, so it doesn't matter. So make sure you're working on the wrong side of your paper so that none of these markings will be visible. I'm just going to fill that line in like that. And now we're going to do a series of measurements going across the paper. Now, these are the measurements that will account for your end pieces, your pieces here that get scrunched up by your ribbons, and then the piece that goes around your cardboard tube. So the first measurement that you're going to make is going to be 5 centimeters in from the edge. Now, my ruler has got nice lines on it going that way, which helps me, but if you don't have that, I'll show you this way first. If you don't have that, you would simply measure, just like we did the first time, from the edge 5 centimeters in, and you would do that all the way down until you get to the bottom, and then you can fill the line in. The next measurement is 2.5 centimeters, and we need to do this twice. So I'm going to do the same process again. And 2.5 centimeters again. So we have 5 centimeters, 2.5, and another 2.5. And now the next gap that we need to leave needs to be big enough for our cardboard tube. So I'm just going to give myself a few millimeters spare on each side just to make sure it's not all too tight. So I'm going to do a little mark there with my pen, and then I'm going to just do a line all the way down, trying to make sure that it's parallel. So now we need to do the same thing again in reverse. So we're going to have 2.5 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters, and a 5 centimeter section. This time I'm going to cheat with my special ruler that's got lines on it, just for the purposes of going a bit quicker. You've now drawn the template for your cracker, and now you can take your scissors and cut this out. The next step is to create some folds along these 3 lines, as these are going to fold in order to create our part that goes in for the bows here. If you flip your piece of paper over so the right side is facing up, you can then fold the paper over until you see your line peeping over and fold across that line. And keep going until you've done all of the 6 lines in the center of the paper. Once you've done that, you then need to fold the outside 2 lines on each of these sections back in the other way. Once you've done that, you should then have folds that will come together from a stretched out position like that, and you should be able to pinch these middle sections so that they come together like that. We are now going to create some triangular shaped cuts in these 2 sticky up sections. This is what the triangles will look like once you've cut them. So I've done these ones already. And to do it on this side, what you need to do is take this whole section and flip it underneath so that the middle line is on the edge here. I'm going to flip it round so that we can do the measurements. We're going to do 1 set of measurements across the top line and 1 set of measurements along the bottom edge. I'm using a pen here so you can see it, but I would recommend you use a pencil and a rubber just in case. So along the top edge, you are going to make a mark at 1 centimetre, and then you're going to do a mark every 1.5 centimetres as you go all the way along. So I've done 1 centimetre in, then I'm going to do 1.5 centimetres, centimetre and a half, centimetre and a half, etc. On the bottom edge, you're going to alternate between doing a mark at the 0.5 centimetre and 1 centimetre points. So I'm going to start with 0.5 centimetre, 1 centimetre, 0.5 centimetre, 1 centimetre, 0.5, 1, 0.5, 1, and you're going to continue that all the way along. Now we're going to fill in the lines of our triangles so we know exactly where to cut. We're going to start with connecting each top mark with every second bottom mark. So I'm going to take this first top mark here and join it with the second bottom mark, like so, and keep going like that. And then we're going to connect each top point with the remaining mark to create the other edge of each triangle. Now that we've drawn all of our triangles, we can use our scissors to cut them out. So we're going to cut along each line all the way to the top edge on both sides, and then the middle triangle piece should fall away. Now for the moment of truth. Ta-da! Next, we can roll up our cardboard tube in our cracker paper. Now, you might find it easiest to put any treats, any jokes, or a paper hat or, you know, a chocolate or anything like that inside the tube before you roll it, as that might be easier, as well as, of course, your cracker snap. However, I'm going to wait and slot mine in a moment. So if you roll this up like that, you can see it's starting to look like a Christmas cracker. Now, just because I want to make sure I'm happy with it before I use proper sellotape, I'm going to start by using a piece of masking tape just to secure it in place. You can see that our shapes that we've cut out of the fabric is now, it already wants to go in. So it's perfectly primed, ready to become a cracker. So I'm now going to poke this through, and hopefully you've got some treats inside yours too. And now the world is basically your oyster when it comes to decoration. So I'm going to go a bit non-traditional with this particular cracker, and I'm going to contrast this blue paper with this pink ribbon, and I'm going to tie the ribbon around the edges and see how it looks. You may find it helpful again to use some little weights to keep your cracker still as you're using it. I'm going to use the edge of my scissor to make this ribbon curly. And there you have it. What you can do as some final finishing touches is to add a couple of pieces of tape just to hold these pieces in place. So I'm going to use some tape. Again, you could use sellotape or masking tape, and you can just stick some on the inside to keep your cracker snap in place, because look, otherwise mine's going to fall out. And to keep these stray bits of paper in place. Et voila! And with regards to decoration, the world really is your oyster. You could use all sorts of different pieces of ribbon. You could tuck in some sprigs of holly from the garden. You could write people's names on them. The decoration all just depends on what kind of paper you're using, what kind of ribbons you've got, and any other decorative accessories you've got. You could even try drawing on the paper or printing on the paper. The world's your oyster. But here's a very simple, funky blue and pink Christmas cracker. There you have it. That is how you can make your own DIY Christmas crackers. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you would like to see more of my videos. Tag me on Instagram if you make some of your own. I'd love to see the crackers that you make. And I'll see you next time. Bye.